today's topic is flatten flatulence fast, or in other words, get rid of that gas. So we do know how painful it can be to have excess air in our guts. It's not comfortable. It can happen if we eat too quickly. It can happen if we're stressed. There's a lot of reasons. Maybe our food combinations aren't going over so well. And when it really gets uncomfortable is when it just kind of sits there and we feel a little bloated, and it can actually cause some pain as well. So this blend today that we're going to make is to help your body to encourage that gas to go right on out where it belongs. All right, so let's take a look at our recipe. To find your recipe, go right down below where we're at, and you'll find the flattened flatulence fast recipe, or you can find all the recipes for the entire season 7 that we've been doing. You're able to download a PDF and then print them off if you would like, or just keep them as a PDF. So this recipe helps to ease those painful cramps that start to happen. So it reduces the smooth muscle spasms in the digestive tract. And aloe vera gel is what we're using as our carrier because it's a water product. It's very thin, and that means that it absorbs very quickly into wherever we put it. So it makes a really great blend when we want really fast results. You can also make this in jojoba oil or a favorite carrier, and you can also put it into an inhaler without a carrier, just the essential oils, and you can put up to 15 to 18 drops in an inhaler. Today's recipe, we're going to use 1 ounce of aloe vera gel. We have solubol that we're using, and we'll get into that. We'll talk about that just a little bit. And we have our essential oils. We have sweet fennel. We're going to add 5 drops of sweet fennel, 4 drops of peppermint, and 3 drops of Roman chamomile. Now, when we talk about solubol, this is something that we use. It's a dispersant when we use a water-based product. If you're using jojoba oil or perhaps a different oil carrier, you do not need to use a solubol, only when you're using a water base like aloe vera or a hydrosol. Now, aloe vera does disperse somewhat, but not all the way. And when we want to blend, when we add essential oils to a blend, we want to make sure that it's evenly dispersed throughout. All the essential oils are throughout evenly, so we don't get a handful of only essential oils or a handful without essential oils. I also shake my blend every time I go to use it. Even though I have solubol in there, I'll shake the blend. So another tip I have for you is this is a solubol bottle, and I just emptied it. I filled up my little bottle here and I emptied this, and I thought, perfect to use for tea time. So if it's an essential oil bottle, I may not use it, but since this is a cone cap, which does not have a dropper on it, perfect for our blends, and I see it's solubol and I'm using solubol in this blend, I'm going to recycle this and use this for today's episode. So to start my blend, I'm going to put my beautiful aloe vera. It says 1 ounce of aloe vera, and I'm going to put in just a little bit below the neck so I have room for my solubol. So I'll put this back down here, add in my aloe vera. I can always add more aloe vera when the blend is made. That way I can make sure I'm not going to run out of space. And then comes our solubol. Now, in our recipe, we have a total of 5, 4, and 3, 9, 12 drops of essential oil. To use solubol, a standard rule of thumb is to use, for every drop of essential oil, you would use 4 drops of solubol. So for every 1 drop of essential oil, 4 drops of solubol. So if I take my 12 drops times 4, I get 48 drops. So I can try to count out 48 drops, or I can use my really cool little graduated cylinder. There's approximately 25 drops per ml of our solubol. So that makes it easy for me to measure. We'll put this off to the side a little bit so we have plenty of working room. And you can do a little bit less as well, but it's typically about 2 ml, which is clear down here. So we'll add our 2 ml. And you have to really shake this to get it to blend well. I'm going to add this directly to my aloe vera. Get all that goodness in there, and as it sets, it'll kind of, a little bit will kind of come back down here, and I'll pour that in as well. Now, let's add our sweet fennel, and we've been talking about sweet fennel for this past month. There's a little bit of safety with fennel. It's not intended to be used on a consistent basis. This is to be used on an occasional basis. So I might use it for a day or two, and then I won't use it again for a while. And hopefully that's enough to keep my digestive system going. Maybe a week or two, and then find a different solution. So it is an extremely good digestive oil. It should only be used at a 2.5% maximum, which is quite a bit because 5 to 6 drops is a 1%. So, and I would not put 12 drops in. So I would only use it in that 1% blend. Dilution, which is 5 drops. So we'll put 5 drops. If you get 1 extra drop in, don't worry about that at all. And then we've known that sweet fennel that we've used throughout the time, and even though it has the safety issues, I feel like it's such a great digestive oil, and if we use it, knowing the safety, then it's perfectly fine to be using it. I don't use sweet fennel on children under 5. I would substitute a different oil like sweet orange instead. So it is contraindicated if you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, if you have endometriosis or an estrogen-related cancer. Again, leave this one out. There's plenty of other oils to choose from. Now, our next oil that we're going to put in, which, well, let me tell you about fennel first. Antispasmodic, which means it really helps, when something clenches up and it has a spasm, it's painful, whether it's inside or whether we can see it on a muscle, it's painful. So it's an antispasmodic, really great with flatulence or gas. Very good for heartburn, nausea, vomiting, and it's considered a tonic. So a tonic helps us to decrease our mental stress, our fatigue, depression. It helps the body to get that vital energy back. Another oil that we're using today has those same properties. So next we're going to add in our 4 drops of peppermint. Now peppermint also has a little bit of safety issues in that we avoid it with children, especially under 5. And if I was making an inhaler for a child, I would simply not use the peppermint. It's too close to their nose. It's 4 drops of peppermint. Now, peppermint is also an antispasmodic. So we've got 2 antispasmodics here. It's really good to help the circulation. It starts to get things going. And many times when I'm feeling nauseated, I might just grab the bottle and give it a whiff, and you would be shocked at how quickly it works. It's also researched in that it helps with gastritis, a chronic gastritis, which is an inflammation of the stomach walls. That can cause a lot of pain, and using peppermint in our blends really helps protect the inflammation in the stomach walls. It decreases that. Very good for flatulence as well and bloating, and it's a real immune stimulator. So you're getting a lot of properties when you're putting your peppermint in. So we'll put our 4 drops of peppermint. There we go. And with the child, just leave out the peppermint. Now our last essential oil is Roman chamomile. Oh my goodness. Roman chamomile is perfect for almost anyone. It's a sedative. It causes you to be sleepy, so it's really good when you're using this at night as well. And another antispasmodic, so this is the third antispasmodic in our blend, and it's anti-inflammatory, and it's also a tonic, so it helps to strengthen and restore that vitality, which many of us need if we're dealing with stress. Now, many times with our digestive situation, we are dealing with stress. Even if it's like a momentary stress that causes us to clench up, that's enough to cause our digestive system to say, oh, hold it, hold everything here. So this blend will help get that going again. So we'll add 3 drops of our Roman chamomile. It smells kind of apple-ish. It's a relative to German chamomile, but it has different properties. 1, 2, 3. 3 drops. All right, so yes, we've got sweet fennel, peppermint, and Roman chamomile in our blend. Now I see that I'm at the 1 ounce mark, right up to the neck there. If you go clear up to the top here, it's hard to shake it up, so I keep it down just a little bit. Put our cap on, and you'll want to label this since we have another label on here that says soluble, which it's not. All right, so we keep that, shake it up really well. It's beautiful. This is an aroma that when you're not feeling very well, you're just a little bit nauseated. I had this situation yesterday, in fact. I think I ate the wrong combination of foods. In fact, I know I did. And my little puppy, Sage, who's sleeping right below me here, let's just hope she keeps sleeping. She was very active and kind of biting, and it caused me a little bit of stress. And I was really tired, and I started to feel nauseated. So I had this blend that I took, and I just rubbed it on my stomach. And right away, you know, a lot of times our blends will take a while to work, but I notice 5, 10, 15-minute immediate results with this blend. So when you massage this on, massage it so you're going clockwise, and it helps to get rid of that gas. It helps the digestive system, the peristalsis, to keep going in the right direction. Encourage it to move forward and not stay or go backwards. As we're looking at what other oils we can use in this blend, if you're not able to use fennel, just use sweet orange and the Roman chamomile, or add in the ginger if you have that on hand. So just modify your amount of drops that you're using and keep going. All right, well that's a wrap for our season 7. So be prepared for our season 8. We've already got it all planned out. We're talking about 5 different ways to focus. And as you can tell, we have lots going on in the Aromahead community. Thank you for joining me.